What's changed the most? Obviously, computers have changed. And it's changing still really fast. We have Hollander, AutoInfo, and Pinnacle. Cost of goods has changed. It's doubled or tripled. Those that can remember 20% know that today it's probably at least 40, as much as 60%. If you're buying cars that cost $2,000 or more a piece, your cost of goods is close to 60%. Increased operating cost. In 1986, when Howard Nussbaum called on me for the first time, we sold $100,000 that month. We had 28 employees. I know that's hard to imagine. 28 employees, and we sold $100,000. And we were making money. If I'd have just known then what I know now, we could have run that operation with 8 employees. And of course today, you're having to have a lot fewer employees and do a lot more with them. And in 1999, when I sold to Ford, our average salesperson was selling about $60,000 per month. And I went next door. I hadn't been over there in probably 4 years. I'm the landlord. But I went next door, and they had this huge whiteboard in the sales area, and it had every salesperson's name. It's LKQ now. Had every salesperson's name and what their goal, what they sold last month, and what their goal was. The number one guy on that list, $320,000 in 1 month. That's what the number one guy sold last month. The number 2 guy sold $260,000. The number 3 guy sold $200,000. Then they fell into the hundreds, and there was nobody on the board selling $50,000 or $60,000. And that's just hard to imagine. I know, but these are real numbers, and you got to figure out how to get there. Competition is an issue. Issues for recyclers: illegal operators, unable to buy enough inventory. We're going to talk about some of these issues. Scrap and core prices, titling and operating regulations, pending clunker regulation. Of course, it's happened now. Probably will happen again before we know it. Environmental regulations, aftermarket parts, failure to utilize and understand technologies. I'm always amazed. This guy in Chicago that I was talking about, he buys cars. They don't take any credit cards or any checks. They only take cash. And he has this 12-page document where they pay this much for any. You call, you have a car, this is what they pay for it. It's just, he has people that answer the phone, and that's what they pay. And he has the girls do it, so because he can't use the computer, and so he just has to write on the sheet when he wants to make a change. And they do the whole sheet in Word, not in Excel. So when they want to change it, they have to realign everything and change the prices. And I'm just amazed. We'll talk about that a little bit here and in the second session, some of the changes that you're going to have to make with technologies. Failure to plan, especially financial planning. I'm seeing recyclers today borrowing money. They used to borrow money. It's okay if you need the money to grow and you use it wisely. What have you done to improve your management skills? This is so important. And I mean, when we were at Ford, long before I sold to Ford, but I went to all kinds of courses on how to get people to do more and how to manage problem personalities and how to handle discipline and so on and so on. And if you're not reading a book or going to a presentation 6 times a year, which means 6 books, or if you're not taking one of those dumb old classes about how to manage people better, then you're not moving ahead, and you have to move ahead. Some of you are at a place in your life where you don't really want to do that stuff. It's okay. There's somebody in the company that does want to do it. Let them move the ball for you. Most of those operators that are paying attention and making required course corrections are doing well. I know a lot of them personally. I work for a lot of them. They're making plenty of money.